What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your man Chazz Ellis once again, and I want to show you this video from a lady that says she's going to show you whether your relationship is over, just about over, or savable. I'm gonna kind of interject in between to give you my feedback as a man.
First things first, her fighting with you, asking you to change, asking you for what she needs, telling you what she needs, reminding you that you didn't give her what she needs, etc., and all of the above, A through D, might annoy the absolute daylights out of you. But it means she still loves you. It means she still cares. And it means she is still both feet in this thing with you.
That could be true, but normally when you're dealing with a woman who's complaining about stuff, this is what you got to think. If she's telling you to do this and telling you to do that, either you don't want to do it or you can't do it. Otherwise, you would. So yeah, she might be complaining to you like, oh, that means she loves me, or that means she's 10 toes down and she's in a relationship with both feet. Who cares? She's asking you to do things you either don't want to do or can't do. That means the relationship is already over, my man. And it means you shouldn't really care. You either can't do it or don't want to do it. See, a lot of y'all operate with these women as if that's the only woman in the world. She's asking you to do things you either don't want to do or can't do. That means that she's not the person for you. Either she's going to adjust to what you can and want to do, or she's not, which means you guys are not compatible for each other. Now, yeah, she might leave, and that might be a big deal at the time, but ultimately, it's going to be better for both of you, because if you're working and trying to get yourself together and she's demanding that time, that's going to stop you on your career path if you give her that time, which means that now you got a woman, but you don't have the career that you want, you don't have the money that you want, which means ultimately, if she's willing to leave you when she's not getting what she wants, if you don't have the career that you wanted, you don't have the money that you wanted, she's going to leave you anyway. But now she's just going to leave you as middle management or a line worker at that job rather than where you wanted to be. It's way better to get left when you've accomplished your career goals than it is to get left when you sacrificed your career goals for somebody else.
Number two, you're in the danger zone. Your relationship is almost over. She has one foot out. She's not fighting with you as much anymore. Ironically, you're probably happier. You probably think things have gotten better. She's quieter. You ask her how her day went. She says more pleasant things. She's focusing on the positive. She's making plans for her future if things don't work out with you. She's spending more time with her friends. She needs less from you. To you, this feels amazing. To her, beware. Because this also is feeling more amazing than asking you for what you are refusing to give to her, which is time, love, affection, and attention. Which is, by the way, what you promise a woman when you woo her and get her to love you.
Once again, sure, this is a sign that your girl is gone out the door. Absolutely. But what you really need to think about is, how is your relationship better now that she's checked out? You're happier now that she's checked out. What does that tell you? You weren't happy in a relationship. This person is not somebody you really wanted to spend time with. Because think about this. She nags you and bothers you about the things that she wants. She never tried to change anything about herself that would make you want to spend more time with her. She just nagged you about spending time with her. She didn't focus on doing things you wanted to do. She didn't focus on being a part of the things that made you happy or pushed your life forward. It wasn't like she said, oh, you got this stuff you want to do with your career? Let me make it easier for you. Let me become a part of that so that you can spend this time with me. She didn't do that. You like to play games. Well, like she got a headset and started playing games with you. You like to watch the football game. Ain't like she figured out all the players and all the stuff on her own time, came into the game, and now she was your best buddy. Y'all high-fiving over touchdowns. It's not like she did that. All she did was complain for the things that she wanted that you didn't want to give her. And now that she's checked out a relationship, you're happier, which means you would be happier without her. You just don't feel like you'd be happy without her, and you don't feel like once she leaves, you're not going to feel like you were going to be happier without her. And I'm going to get into that a little bit more later.
Step three, your relationship is over. At this point, she's left. She's packed up her stuff. She's told you she's done. Now this moment is where you are going to feel the full force of your neglect. You're going to be sad. You're going to be saying you're going to change, do all the things she's been asking you to do all of this time. Unfortunately for you, she's done. A precursor to this is when she just totally checks out. She needs nothing from you. She has just quit and stayed. You ask her how she's doing. She says she's fine. She might even be pleasant. She might be happier. She might ask you how you're doing. She needs nothing from you at this point. You might even think things are going great in your relationship, when in actuality, things are over. Totally over. She's just waiting until it's the right time for her to leave. Don't ever get it twisted. If a woman's fighting with you, she still cares about you. She's indifferent. The more indifferent she becomes, the more feet she has out the door.
And I agree with her, but who cares? This is the thing that a lot of you guys, especially you young guys, are going to struggle with. You're putting a lot of value on somebody who really isn't valuable. If a woman is not loyal to you, relationships break up for two reasons. You don't care about her enough. She doesn't care about you enough. That's why relationships really break up. You could call it whatever you want to. You either didn't care enough to do what she needed you to do. She didn't care enough to do what you needed her to do, or you didn't care enough to work through it. Either one of you didn't care enough to work through whatever you were going through. If you were cheating on a chick, you didn't care enough about her to be faithful. She didn't care enough about you to accept the fact that you were cheating, forgive you, and take you back. That's really the way the relationship goes. Now, when someone breaks up with you, you're going to be sad because you got broken up with. You're going to be sad also because you had box on tap, most likely, and now you don't. You didn't want to spend time with her because you were neglecting her, like the lady just said, which means there was something about her also that you didn't want to spend time with her. It's nobody's fault. Y'all just probably aren't compatible and don't get along. But you had box on tap, most likely. You had somebody there at all times that was a comfort, and that's what you're going to be missing, because your mind is always going to say, I can only get something from what I've been getting it from. It's like if you get fired from a job that sucks. You're so worried, oh man, I'm not going to get a paycheck now, but you hated the job. There are other jobs out there. They have paychecks too. Just like when your girl leave, if you didn't want to be in a relationship anyway, clearly by your behavior, so you got to understand the fact that you don't really care about the fact that she left. You care about the fact that the things that she was doing are now gone. And your mind is telling you you can't go get those in another place. And I tell women the same thing. Normally what happens is you can get whatever you were getting from that person somewhere else. Your brain is just telling you that you can't. Now, if you really couldn't get what you were getting from that person somewhere else, your attitude wouldn't have been the way it was. When she checked out, you would have never been happier. You would have been sad, broken. Your whole life would have just come crashing down. But the fact that you were happier when she just kind of checked out and left you alone, that tells you that the only thing that you are going to be missing when she leaves is box on tap. Continuous physical touch, affection type stuff. That's pretty much the only thing you're going to be missing. Maybe she was cooking a meal or two, and that's the case. All you need to do is replace what that person is doing. There's a movie called I think it's called Moneyball. Brad Pitt is in it. I think Jonah Hill, and it was about the Oakland A's when they lost Jason Giambi, and they were like, it doesn't matter if you don't even know who that is. They lost it. They lost a star player, and they were like, we need to replace this star player. And he was like, no, we need to replace this many runs, this many RBIs. You get what I'm saying? This is what we need to replace. We don't need to replace that particular player. If you got a chick that runs out on you because of certain things that you're doing or not doing, hey, that's her right. But you don't need to replace her. You really need to write down the actual things that she's doing and bringing to your life, not her, because that's irrelevant. She already left. She's replaceable with somebody else if she's willing to leave. And just replace the production. Don't try to replace the girl, because you didn't like the girl that much anyway. Be real with yourself. I don't like this broad that much anyway. All I liked is what? The production. You didn't want to hang out with her. You didn't really want to talk to her. because that's what she was complaining about. So you don't need her. You need what she was doing for you. She's happy without you right now because she probably already has another dude. She probably started talking to somebody when she checked out. And now she's going to go into her new situation. That's what she's saying, waiting till it's the right time. Really talking to some other dude, most cases. And a lot of times you see her with the other dude and you start feeling like, oh no, he done took my girl. He done took the, now I wish I would have just did this and I wish I would have done that. Bro, somebody was hitting before you. Somebody would be hitting after you. Who cares? You can roll back around to this girl a year, 2, 3 years later if you ever so choose to. It's never over. Who cares? You're making it into something that it's not. The girl already left you, so that proved that she did not have a deep loyalty to you. If she left you for a reason, she'll leave you for any reason. I don't care what they try to tell you. And that's anybody, man or woman. If you leave a chick for one reason, you will leave her for another. It's just the reality of it. So if somebody leaves you, you got to look at that. They already proved that they didn't have a deep loyalty to you. So what you want to do in that situation is just think about replacing the production, what they were doing for you. And if you see them with somebody else, it's their turn.